and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, where I thought before Nickly.com expires as a website, we should take another look at a solve of the World Champion. So this is Kota Morinishi's solve of a hard-rated Sudoku from June this year. And what I thought might be interesting would be to study a particular point in the solve where he unsticks himself, if you like. So you can see the total time he took for this hard puzzle is 2 minutes 49, which is absurdly fast. It's comfortably the quickest time on the site for this puzzle. And he's been sort of going through his solve relatively smoothly. Unusually, you can see he's made pencil marks here, which he resorts to very rarely, I've noticed, when he's solving just classic Sudoku puzzles. Now, so what I recommend is you study the grid and think about where you might place the next number. Now, I'm going to tell you in a moment where he was looking to place the next number. So if you don't even want to know that, do pause now. Those of you who want to know where to look, he looked in column 9. And you can see that we need a 3 or a 7 in the open squares here. So again, I'd recommend pausing. Think about whether you can see a way of placing a 3 or a 7 in either of these cells. And I have to say, it really is a very impressive piece of mental agility he performs here in order to do it. So I'll tell you, it's this square that he unwinds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how he does this now. So again, please do pause if you want to find it yourself. But let me try and find. Okay, so this is my version of the point that Kota's reached. So I'm going to talk about how to resolve this square. So what he does is he can see he needs a 3 or a 7 in this square, and he looks at the 7s. And what he's able to see is he uses this 7 here and this 7 here to identify that there is a 7 in one of these two positions. He doesn't notate any of this, he does it mentally, and therefore he can see that there are 7s in one of these two positions in this 3x3 box. Now he combines that with his knowledge of this 3x3 box, where again you can see that the 7s here have to be placed in either column 4 or column 6. So he's able to appreciate that there can be no more 7s in columns 4 and 6 in this puzzle. And you can see that because, I mean, let's just imagine the 7 can obviously only go in one of two positions here. If the 7 is here, then this will be a 7. And there certainly can be no more 7s in columns 4 or 6. And vice versa. It's pretty obvious that if this is a 7, this will be a 7. So he notices this, and in effect, the effect of that is to allow him to pencil mark 7s into these two positions in the central nonet here. And then he looks at this 7, and he notices that he's got a 7 in these two positions. So he's got the same sort of logic that he's just employed on columns 4 and 6, he can now employ on rows 4 and 6. Again, with this is a 7, this will be a 7, and vice versa. This is a 7, this will be a 7. So there's no 7s in either of these 4 positions either. This position, this position, this position, or this position. And then combine that with this 7, and that forces the 7, it can now only be in this square here. So he writes this in. And I thought, and I'll show you him doing it actually. So let's look, this is real time. So he finds this 7, no pencil marks, just note that, no 7s. Now this is, as I say, this is not accelerated at all. This is being played back at normal speed, and he's probably going to have to finish the puzzle now in about 30 seconds. And personally, this is the thing I find the most impressive about these very, very fast solvers, is that once they reach a point like this, it's literally the work of moments for them to be able to unscramble the rest of the grid. You can see it's almost like watching, you know, what I imagine Rain Man, how a Rain Man would would fill in the puzzle. Very, very, very quick reading skill, let alone actually the logic part of it, just to be able to read that quickly and identify the missing numbers. Fabulous. So I hope this was enjoyable. Another look at Kota's solving. He's well worth studying, and we'll see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic.